Good afternoon, or evening, or morning, or wherever it is, whenever you're watching this. This is the Desert Shaman in the Shaman's Den in southern Nevada. Thought I would do a quick follow up on the Tucker Carlson Putin interview, which I said would be a game changer. Hmm. uh, it was excellent. What can I say? I mean, it was just excellent. And the points that I took away from it would be the following. Now, when Tucker first came on, he kind of gave a little disclaimer about the interview. I don't know if it was a disclaimer. Let's say he came on and said words to the effect that at first he thought Putin was doing a filibuster, stalling him, in other words, on the first question. And then he added that he came to the conclusion that he wasn't and that it was genuine. And I think the reason he did that was uh, because some people might not have been able to follow the dialogue, okay, at the beginning of the interview that Putin was putting out there, okay. But it was really artistic and historical and intellectual. And Putin made a comment to the effect that, this is not just a talk show or a funny show. This is a serious conversation, and are you serious about this conversation? If you will, you'll be listening to my historical rap first. So what he did in that historical rap is covered the history of Ukraine and Russia and the conflicts that had gone on before, and the different quarrels and the different divisions and the different reuniting, and just did an exquisite uh, overview, okay, of Russia back to the 1600s, okay, and then taking it forward. Now Tucker got a little impatient because he asked him a question, and Putin kind of put him on hold. And I told you who Putin has the ability of a martial artist and is able to control things the way he wants them controlled. And he felt that he needed to get that little narrative out about the history of Russia and Ukraine and update it to today. Now, after that, they covered all the relevant stuff as far as the Maidan coup and even 2008, some things that I didn't know. But a point that I didn't know is that even in the 2008 election, way before the Maidan coup, the United States and the CIA had their fingers in that election and actually prolonged the election so that they could try to get their person in. And they, by prolonging it, they went against the Constitution of Ukraine, just like you would go against the Constitution here in America if you tried to extend an election because it wasn't going your way, tried to add an extra day or an extra ballot or whatever, trying to extend it out, right? So, uh, point well taken. Point well taken. I didn't know that about the 2008. I didn't know they had their fingers in there way before uh, the Maidan coup, which was orchestrated by Newland and Kerry and by Biden and the whole crew. Okay, Biden wasn't president then, of course, but he had his fingers in Ukraine as far as making money through different sources in Ukraine and laundering money and that type of thing with his criminal son Hunter, okay, who was put on an energy board and knows nothing about energy except the kind that goes up your nose with cocaine. So those points were covered, as well as the betrayal of the so-called, quote, partners, European partners on the Minsk agreements, basically stringing Putin along and not having any intention of the peace process that was instigated, even by their own admission, okay? So, after the fact, right? And the failed attempt in the intervention of Boris Johnson into the Istanbul peace talks, okay? So, he covered everything, and even covered a question about the CIA, the guy that was arrested, some journalist, the Wall Street journalist that is being held for espionage, if he was going to be let go and whatever. But overall, it was a great interview. People freaked out about it and called Tucker all kinds of names and this and that. And then I suppose their spin afterward will be some kind of negative spin. I've already seen stuff like Putin rambled on or something at the beginning, and no, he wasn't rambling on. Let's put something into fucking context here. These people out here really irritate me. The mainstream media and the spin doctors. He sat there for 2 hours and had a casual, intellectual, brilliant conversation with Tucker, even putting Tucker on the spot several times, okay? And you have to compare that again with what I said in my last video about the demented blockhead fuck, okay, that we have in office now in the form of Biden. And, even Trump couldn't come off like that knowledgeable for 2 hours straight. Yeah, he's pretty good. He would be a lot better comparison than, let's say, Biden. Not that I'm for Trump, because I'm not. I'm not for politics at all. I'm apolitical. I'm V for vendetta. Okay, I'm an anarchist, if anything. Anarchist meaning no government is the true meaning of that one. Okay, in case you didn't know. So overall, I thought it was a great. Now, granted, it's going to go right over some people's heads. That's the only thing. It's not your basic hardball question, softball question, abrupt question. Why did you do this? It wasn't that way. It was more flowing. It was more conversational. And I know people's attention span. See, even with this channel, I know people's attention span is that about that long, about a gnat's ass long or a frog hair long or whatever. It isn't available to them to sit down, to a lot of people, to sit down and look at things in a manner that's not sensational, all right? Not sensational, but just matter-of-fact discussion and communication and dialogue, okay? So it came off brilliantly. It'll probably go right over a lot of people's head. And when I say it was a game changer, or would be a game, it is a game changer. It is. With the caveat, though, now, okay, after reflecting on the interview, that this will go right over a lot of people's heads. Zoom. They won't even get. They'll get bored in the first 2 minutes or 5 minutes, because Putin is an intellectual explaining background about Russia and Ukraine to set up what's going on right now. But I bet that people who don't even know where to find Ukraine on a map will get, they don't like history lessons. It's like going to school for them. I had to laugh when Putin said, "You're into history, aren't you, Tucker? You'll be interested in this." And then he laid all that shit on him. No, I'm telling you, he's a sly dog. He's a sly uh, elder. Okay, and he knows what he's doing. All right, and he's not demented, and he's not in fantasy land or anything like that. Like they will come out and say, they will probably come out and say stuff like this. All right, that he was wandering and he was talking about the past, and they'll try to spin it in that way to make him look kind of senile or whatever, which is so far from the fact and so far off base. But what else could they do when they got a person in there that, in the White House that can't find his way off the stage? I mean, they got to do something. They got to do some kind of damage control, and they will. But you would be better off to listen to the interview and not pay any fucking attention to what people are saying about it. You go look for yourself on tuckercarlson.com. That's tuckercarlson.com. Just so you know where to find it, Or you can find it on Twitter as well, on his site that he has on Twitter. No, so you should definitely go and check it out. You should go and check it out and make up your own mind. I'm just trying to give you some highlights here, my take as to what I saw was going down. If I was Tucker, the only thing that I didn't like is I probably wouldn't have given the disclaimer at the beginning about, we thought we were being filibustered. No, just put it out there. Don't, and go with the flow. But I think that was a mistake because it gave the opposition something to hang their hat on, as far as, even putting the word filibuster in there. I mean, that's a congressional term. He wasn't doing that at all. It was totally off base, I think, for Tucker to say that. But I think Tucker was a little bit shook up and a little bit worried about whether this would go over just right or not, So anyway, I'll leave it there. I think that's enough on the follow-up. Now, I want to mention something else before I go here. Last time I mentioned about that I didn't realize that when you do a thumbs up on the video, it changes the algorithm. I wasn't aware of how important that was, and so I just been kind of blowing it off. And I noticed on my last video, I got more thumbs up because I told people, if you like this channel and you're here and you're watching it, put a thumbs up and like it so it changes the algorithm, and I'm getting more and more play, more views, which is very important. Because I'm not here to waste fucking time, all right? What I have to say I feel is important, and my presence on the internet is important from a shamanistic point of view, and from any point of view. You're not going to hear anything else out there except newsboys, okay? Newsboys, just giving the news and commenting on it and laughing about it, and upsetting people and whatever. I don't do that. I give a specific take from a higher level of consciousness, all right? So yeah, like the video because it changes the algorithms, and I'm noticing that the thumbs up or the likes aren't close enough to the actual views, okay? So if you're just viewing it for a few seconds, give it a thumbs up, okay? What is it going to do? Is that too much to ask you to move your finger to the mouse and kind of navigate? Whoop, and then ding, right there it is. Doesn't take long, does it? And the support of this channel would be appreciated as well. I've been doing this for years, and scroll down in my videos and see how all the topics I've covered, truthfully. So anyway, spiritofcrazyhorse.com is where you can donate if you want to, or look at my books. And when you donate $10 or more, you get a PDF copy of one of my books. One of them an award-winning book. So can't go wrong there. It's time to support your local shaman, and the channel that you can go to for straight out blunt truth, basically. Talking from my heart, okay? Listening to the wind and speaking from the heart. Adios.